The Los Angeles Lakers have had a busy off-season that have people talking, making some serious moves, adding former Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart.
Splits the defense, soars, and blocked! Oh, what a block, but right there, his hands puts it back in. LeBron with a full head of steam.
Brought in DeAndre Ayton to shore up the front court, grabbed Jake LaRavia, who could be that 3-and-D piece they've been missing, and a promising rookie to fill out the rotation. On paper, it's a great supporting cast. But here's the thing, LeBron is about to turn 41 years old. The Western Conference might be the most stacked it's ever been, and when you really start digging into this roster, there are some legitimate questions about health, chemistry, and whether all these pieces actually fit together. So the question is, are they good enough to matter? Or are we witnessing another experiment that's destined to fall short when it matters most? After a pretty uneventful start to free agency, the Lakers suddenly hit the gas and started making moves with purpose. What began as free agency radio silence quickly turned into a calculated retooling effort built around two generational playmakers, Luka Doncic and LeBron James.
By Luka Doncic. Oh, what a pass! Doncic, perfection.
The first addition was Jake LaRavia, coming over from the Kings on a 2-year, $12 million deal. Next came the headline move. After a contract buyout in Portland, the former #1 overall pick finds himself in purple and gold. And while Ayton hasn't quite lived up to the superstar ceiling people predicted back in 2018, he has averaged a double-double every season of his career. But the Lakers weren't done. Shortly after, the Lakers landed Marcus Smart on a 2-year, $11 million contract after his buyout with the Wizards. And to top things off, they added youth and athleticism and Adu Thero, the 36th pick in the draft, originally selected by Brooklyn. Altogether, the Lakers have assembled a roster that blends experience, defensive grit, and athleticism. On paper, this version of the Lakers looks much stronger than last year's, but climbing into the upper tier of the Western Conference requires more than just talent. It requires chemistry, health, and consistency. The Lakers have the pieces, now it's all about how they fit together. But now, in the NBA, it doesn't matter how deep your bench is or how many savvy vets you stack around the edges. Every championship run begins and ends with your core. And for the Lakers, that core now revolves around Luka Doncic and LeBron. After years of trying to squeeze another title out of the LeBron-Anthony Davis duo,
LeBron alley-oop AD! That was pretty nice. Three-pointer by Anthony Davis. It's good!
the Lakers hit the reset button in a bold way, trading for Doncic and signaling a new direction. This wasn't just LeBron's team anymore, it was Luka's too. But Luka's first stretch in LA didn't exactly feel like the arrival of a new era. He looked slightly out of rhythm, whether it was the lingering injuries or just adjusting to a new system and new city. Luka didn't seem fully like himself. Even so, he still managed to put up Luka numbers.
Luka's still driving, spins, turns, lays it up and in. Beautiful move by Luka.
28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 1.6 steals over 28 games, while shooting 43.8% from the field and 37.9% from deep. That's a down year by his standards. That said, the Lakers season ended abruptly, losing in 5 games to a surging Timberwolves squad in the first round. But that series exposed more than just a roster that needed upgrades. It showed that Luka wasn't quite at peak form. By game 5, he looked worn down, heavy-legged, and clearly not in the kind of shape that wins titles. The criticisms that followed weren't new. The same questions that chased him in Dallas, his conditioning, his focus, and his leadership, found their way into the LA headlines. At his peak, Luka Doncic is a top 3 player in the NBA. Not just a star, a system unto himself. A player who can carry a franchise into the postseason without blinking. And the Lakers are fully aware of what they have. They've built their future around the belief that Doncic isn't just a talent, he's a turning point. Luka knows it too, and that's what makes this offseason so different. For the first time in his career, Doncic has flipped the script. His focus hasn't been on tweaking his handle or refining his step back, it's been on reshaping his body. Photographs have shown a noticeably leaner and more locked-in Luka. with reports confirming a full-scale overhaul in his training and diet. He's also ramped up his cardio, long-distance runs, interval training, and high-intensity conditioning. The physical transformation is no longer speculation, it's visible. Luka now looks sharper, lighter, and more agile than ever. And for a player whose game has always thrived on rhythm, pace, and control, dropping weight could unlock an entirely new level offensively and especially on the defensive end, where mobility and endurance have often been his weakest spots. The Lakers have retooled around him. The pieces are coming together, but the biggest development isn't a roster addition, it's Luka himself. If this new version of Doncic is here to stay, the rest of the league is officially on notice. But this Lakers team isn't just about Luka, because standing right beside him is the king himself. LeBron James may be 40 years old, but he's still one of the best players in the league. This past season, he earned all NBA honors again, and at 40, that's more than just impressive, it's unprecedented. In year 22, he put up 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game. The numbers say it all. He's still the anchor, both in production and leadership. But no matter how much LeBron has defied father time, he's still 40, turning 41 this season. The slowdown has already begun, not in dramatic waves, but in the margins. The transition defense used to be effortless. The stretches of takeover mode that used to last quarters now come in bursts. It's not about whether decline is coming, it's already here, and it's natural. With LeBron in year 23 and Luka entering his prime, the balance of power is clearly shifting. LeBron is no longer carrying the load alone, but the team still relies on him to show up, to lead, to produce. And while any team built around Luka and LeBron has the firepower to beat anyone on any given night, the playoffs are all about endurance. 4 series, 4 wins in 7 games, that's the grind. And for a 41-year-old LeBron on a team that still needs him to produce every night, that's the true test. Not the highlight plays or the stat lines, but the ability to do it over and over again, deep into May and June. Still, as long as Luka and LeBron are together, the Lakers will remain in the championship conversation. And for now, that's more than enough to keep Los Angeles in the hunt. And speaking of building a contender, supporting pieces matter just as much as the stars, which is why the Lakers didn't just sit back, they went out and got Marcus Smart. 3 years ago, Smart was at the peak of his powers, 2022 Defensive Player of the Year, the first guard to win the award in nearly 3 decades, but since then, he's struggled, not just to reach that level again, but to stay on the floor. Over the past 2 seasons, Smart has averaged just 23.8 minutes per game across 54 appearances. That's barely 2/3 of a season's worth of action. He put up 11 points, 3.6 assists, and 1.5 steals per game on 41.1% shooting from the field and 33.1% from deep. Solid, but not game-changing. But his short stint with the Wizards told a slightly different story. In 15 games, Smart posted a career high 18 points per 36 minutes, and his three-point shooting climbed to 39.2%, the best mark of his career. A small sample size, but it hinted at what a locked-in Marcus Smart could still bring to the table. And for the Lakers, he feels a very real need. After losing Dorian Finney-Smith to Houston, LA was left without a true point-of-attack defender. That's where Smart steps in. Even now, he's still one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, capable of taking the toughest perimeter assignments night in, night out. Offensively, he's never been a knockdown shooter, but playing alongside Luka and LeBron, 2 of the best offensive minds in basketball, means Smart will get the cleanest looks of his career. Add in his underrated playmaking, and suddenly, the Lakers have a defensive stopper and a secondary creator who can run sets when needed. There's also the intangibles. Smart is a respected voice in any locker room. He brings grit, toughness, and accountability, qualities that championship teams need when things get tough in March and April. Of course, there's still the injury concern. Smart has only played 54 games over the past 2 seasons, mostly due to hand and ankle injuries, but these aren't the kind of